Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, what's the big weather story for the week?
Well, Troy, it's been a very dry week, and that seems to be the pattern that we've been on through this entire fall period and late summer. And of course, the drought has expanded. I encourage you to see the latest drought monitor in regards to that. We've actually seen drought expand into southeastern Nebraska. We had that hard freeze conditions across much of the northern portions of the state as we were going into yesterday morning. And now we are basically looking at another dry stretch ahead of us. So not a lot to offer in terms of opportunities for precipitation. However, when it comes to harvest activity weather, I don't think we could ask much better deal. So let's get to the upper air pattern and see how this week is going to progress as we go through this next 7-day period. As you can see from today's upper air chart, we have a trough that is responsible for bringing the cold air into our region. That's over the western Great Lakes. We expect that that's going to lift somewhat toward the northeast. We have cool conditions that are going to remain in place across the state. There is even a chance for some scattered shower activity across eastern Nebraska, even though it's not showing anything here on the moisture. There is that outside chance we'll see a few light showers, but more importantly, that trough lifts a little bit toward the northeast, brings a little bit warmer area into our region for tomorrow. We should see a rebound in temperatures back up into the lower 70s as we get into the southern side of that high pressure system. And most of the precipitation remains over the southern Great Lakes region. As we go into Monday, yet another little wave moving in northwest flow kind of clips the northern plains region. That'll bring a slight shift in our winds, but we should still see temperatures that will be primarily in the upper 60s to low 70s. No precipitation in sight, most of that confined to the eastern seaboard. And then as we get into Tuesday, another piece of energy tries to move through that trough. This will be our last shot of frost temperature or frosty conditions across the state. If it does occur, it's going to occur Wednesday morning. But that low pressure up in the Arrowhead region will keep the moisture up in Minnesota. Looks like a dry funnel boundary passage for us. And those cool conditions will basically remain just to the east of us. So if this backs up a little bit, we'll see some frost in eastern Nebraska. But more importantly, we start to get into a very warm trend after we see this last blast of cool conditions coming in. High pressure over the central United States, precipitation over the Great Lakes, dry conditions and warming as ridging starts to build in the center part of the country, as a trough tries to build into the Pacific Northwest. Our temperature is easily going to move back up into the mid to upper 70s, probably low 80s across western Nebraska under very dry conditions. Perfect for harvest activity. We see a little bit of a zonal flow as that ridge breaks down somewhat with some energy moving across the Canadian border. There's surface low shown in northeastern Nebraska, but again, we have that dry air coming over the Rockies. There's just no moisture to work with, so we may see a few clouds, but that's about the extent of it. We go further in time, which takes us basically from next Thursday through the following Tuesday. We're looking at above normal temperatures. That high pressure remains in place, and unfortunately for precipitation, there's just nothing in sight. Now, from the model standpoint, as we get out to the middle of the month, once again, the GFS model is still pointing toward a storm system in the center part of the country. So hopefully that will answer some of our prayers in terms of precipitation. So Troy, overall, after this hard freeze, it looks like we're going to see some Indian summer conditions. The next big opportunity for major precipitation is about the mid-month period. GFS has been really consistent on that. So let's pray that once we will start to see a decent amount of moisture come into the state. Otherwise, it still looks like good harvest activity for the next 10 days.